Maybe, a third party, the microphone, whoever.
No, you don't shout them out.
No, they're not smart. Okay.
First of all, I don't know who it is. There's people. I don't know what that is.
Texas. All right, yeah. So this broadcast, today's episode.
If anything, Panasonic, because she's been rocking with me for years.
Texas, Panasonic, Lumix.
That's Panasonic.
Shay Budgets, Mr. Budgets.
Shay's Budget Shop.
Shay's Budget Shop. Shay's Etsy Shop. Yeah. So yeah, those are today's sponsors. So yeah, let's get into it. So today we're talking about long distance relationship. We figured that was a good topic to start off with to introduce ourselves because little do you know, or many people don't know, we actually went through a little period where we were in a long distance relationship, and yeah. So the story about how we met, I guess that's pretty much that whole story.
Yeah, we just told that, but that video this will drop before that video, so we can tell it again here. You heard it here first.
All right, so it was a cold day, September 4th, 1989, and I was born in Germany. Sorry, I ain't gonna take that that far. All right, so I graduated from Georgia Southern University. After that, I got a degree in sports management. Then I went up to West Virginia, where my cousin lived. I have family in West Virginia, Huntington, West Virginia, where the great Marshall University is located. I did an internship. I was a strength and conditioning coach, and yeah, that's why I was there in West Virginia. This one, she was living in West Virginia in Huntington, going to school, getting her education at Marshall University, and
although when we met, I had just started at West Virginia University.
Oh,
yeah, so just so we're clear. Like, I had just graduated from Marshall, and I was beginning my graduate degree that we obtained together.
I did her work while she was in college.
It's fine.
That's how relationships kind of work. I was her, was that your boyfriend, or was I still in the friend zone doing your
friend zone?
You sure?
Yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't have done your homework.
You only got out of the friend zone after doing my homework. So anyway, his cousin lived in West Virginia. I lived in West Virginia. And my colleague lived in West Virginia. And my colleague and his cousin were dating. Since like high school. Yeah, and now they're married. So we met because his cousin,
me, my cousin, and his
the colleague were going to a concert.
Rick Ross, Meek Mill, Wale, the whole MMG.
Was it Machine Gun Kelly there?
Yeah, he was the opener.
Yeah, that was MMG. November 3rd, 2012.
2012, yeah.
And I remember my mom dropped me off at their apartment because he and the cousin lived together, and that was just under the viaduct, which was like 2 blocks.
I don't think nobody knows what a viaduct is.
They don't, so I always say it. And it was about 8 o'clock in the morning, and that's when we met. And we all got in the car. We went to Lexington, Kentucky, which was like an hour and a half away. We went to the mall. We got some cupcakes. We went to Logan's Roadhouse. Yep. We went to the concert. It started raining after we left Logan.
Oh, yeah, it was pouring down raining.
And I was just a tag along, by the way, because I was wanting to go and didn't have anyone to go with, I guess, which is interesting because I had a concert buddy at the time.
I was about to say you didn't have no friends.
I don't know where she was. Anywho, she was my Lil Wayne concert buddy. We went to see Lil Wayne many times, but so we went to the concert and we got home at like 11 p.m. They dropped me off at my house, and then April 29th, which is one of my friend's birthdays, 2013, he slid in the Twitter DMs and asked if I wanted to go to another concert. And I was hyped because clearly I didn't have a concert buddy or something. So I was like, bet. And then, yeah.
When I said that, I was really just trying to see if you remembered me and remember who I was.
Yeah. I will say, I think I went to my first concert beginning of that year. So I think you only lucked up because I was like in this high of going to concerts. Because like I had gone to Lil Wayne in March. And then MMG, I guess. I think I went to another Lil Wayne, I think in July. Anyway, so he caught me at a good time. And so we then would like date, even though he stayed in the friend zone for a year. And then he eventually got out the friend zone a year after. So November 2013. So in a couple months, we will have known each other for 10 years. And then what had happened. So eventually,
I remember we went on a date to the movies.
Yeah, whatever. And then date.
All right, back it up to the concert. The reason why is, she probably, wanted to go to another concert with me. It's because when we went to the first concert, I had connections and I got us backstage.
I did not care about that. I did not go backstage.
Well, you got front rows.
Okay, and then we got kicked out of there. So what is it?
No, y'all wanted to move back. Y'all said it was too loud.
Oh, it was too loud. But then we also got kicked out. Huh? So we also got told to move. It was too loud and we got told to move. So
no, y'all wanted to move.
Either way, I wasn't impressed.
Sorry, so y'all moved up to the little recording place.
So what I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. Here are the facts.
There were VIP seats.
Here are the facts.
I got them. We were all the way up in the balcony, and then I pulled my connections and got us right there on the floor.
Here are the facts.
Dapping up Wale and everything.
Here are the facts.
What?
The facts is that you did not get a chance with me because I sat on the front row of MMG for...
You was a clout chaser. Just admit it.
Because I sat on the front row of MMG, Rick Ross.
Just admit it. I thought I was somebody.
In love with Wale at the time and J. Cole. But anyway, that's not what made...
Because I was somebody.
You ended up in the friend zone for a year either way. So did it really help you out? I'm confused.
I'm here now.
That's true. So then, we just began our relationship. And then eventually, though, he would move back home. And that's where the long distance relationship
moved back here
part
to Georgia.
Came in. Yep. Where we live literally now.
So we had our long distance relationship going from Georgia, from West Virginia. And every now and then we would, go see each other. Not
every now and again. It was regular. So if I had to give any tips, it was to always have that next meet up, link up, sneaky link. They'll just call it. That's what the kids are calling it. Have that scheduled so that you can have something to look forward to. So we would take turns, but there was nothing for me where I lived. There was nothing for us to, he would come, but I would just come down here. So it was no big deal. Plus I was in a traveling phase, so I traveled anywhere. So
he was on the road.
Popping out down here was not a thing to me. So probably I'd say every 2 months. I don't think we ever really went beyond 3 months.
I don't think so.
It only lasted a year and some change anyway.
Yeah, and then you moved down.
Yeah. Then we got engaged and married and all that.
Made her an honest woman. All right, so
Captain Save a Hoe.
Well, that part I had to see if I could actually live with you. I think I already knew that I liked you and I wanted you.
Yeah, so we moved in before we were married.
Yeah.
And that's his rationale. I was just trying to save it. Well, I'd never lived on my own.
Yeah.
So I very much wanted to move here and do my own thing. But yeah, I'd never lived on my own. I don't think that I ever would. And so we just decided to get a 2-bedroom apartment because he had a 1-bedroom. So we decided to get a 2-bedroom so we could kind of spread out and have our own rooms and whatever. And then took it from there. But yeah, his rationale was he wanted to know if we could coexist together.
In the same. Because, that long distance relationship thing, it wasn't too difficult.
That's what I was going to say. We did a lot of FaceTiming and texting and calling.
Yeah.
And we watched movies together on FaceTime. Remember that?
I don't remember.
We would watch movies together on FaceTime like we were together.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. And then when we would link up,
I remember we would text each other or call each other and, hey, start the movie at this time or whatever. And, hey, I'm about to press play on the movie. And then
so corny.
We do it like that. I remember staying on FaceTime watching the movie.
Yeah. We would, we were watching it together.
Well, we
were also early 20s, so if we were corny.
You would have been asleep.
Yeah, I probably fell asleep, like I still do. If we were corny, that's because we were in our early 20s. Yeah. So, that's kind of...
So, speaking of, you just gave your tip about, staying in communication. Mm-hmm. So, here's five tips for how to make your long-distance relationship work. Tip number 1, communicate as much or as little as you need to feel connected. I feel like we did that. I feel like that's pretty much self-explanatory. If you're going to have a long-distance relationship, it's important to stay in tune with that person, and the only way you can stay in tune with somebody is to communicate, whether it be talking on the phone, texting, FaceTime. I feel like in today's world, you have to FaceTime to avoid being catfished and all that.
Okay.
And just talking about the beginning of these relationships. If you've never met the person, we've met each other first and then took it long distance. But a lot of these online relationships, they're just starting on Facebook with a profile icon. not knowing who that person might be, not knowing what they really look like. So I feel like it's definitely important to FaceTime these days. You can't go into a long distance relationship having never met the person, not even FaceTime. Like you got to FaceTime.
But what's interesting is that we got closer, even though we were in a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. But again, we didn't go that many. I mean, maybe 3 months max, probably. So yeah, we linked up like 4 or so times, as much as we could. If if we didn't have work in the way, I'm sure it would have been even more. But I could take 3-4 days off. So yeah, so I never went on a long vacation. That's probably what kind of fostered me still not going on long vacations. I would just do like 4 days off, get up early, drive down here, or vice versa. Him drive to me, off work for like 2-3 days, then drive back home. Sometimes I would drive back home and go right to work at 3 p.m. So living life on the edge. But, we wanted to spend all of our time together or whatever. So that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I was going to say those were the days. Nothing important.
Tip number 2, be there, even when you can't actually be there. So it just means like whenever you need something or whenever you might have an emotional need, just, I guess, call that person, let them know how you feel, and just be there. Just be supportive over the phone or whatever, or however you can. Mm-hmm. I felt like I did a great job at being there for you.
You did?
During our long distance relationship while I was doing your homework. I feel like I was definitely, because you seemed like you were so stressed out.
I don't know if we
were
go
to work
long distance when you were doing my homework.
I was definitely long distance.
You sure?
We were not right there while I was doing your homework.
I was gonna say my thing only took me 2 years, and you left the first year.
I was only there 1 year.
I know.
So the second year we had.
Oh, so you did my second year homework. Okay, so I held it down the first year on my own. So don't act like you really.
The first year is usually the easiest.
Don't act like you really contributed. If I held it down the first year on my own.
Your first year in the degree program is usually the easiest.
If it's 2 years, that means half of the year was easy. So that means the probability of me being able to do the second year on my own was high.
We got to pull up the numbers.
Whatever you say.
Get me the facts. Give me the numbers.
I'm nervous that you're
Yeah, I think.
What's it called? This stuff?
A beard.
Goatee. I'm nervous that is. I don't think you'll ever have enough for that.
I feel like it's messing up, but it's all good.
Okay. You gonna finish your facts or what's next?
Oh yeah, tip number 3. Remind your partner frequently what you love about your relationship.
We didn't do that. We reminded each other of what we loved.
I know for a fact. I reminded you.
Of course.
That I was into
you. have the Will Smith complex. Huh? You know what that is?
What's the Will Smith complex?
I want you to guess. We just read the book. What's the Will Smith complex?
I can do anything.
And that's the Jasmine complex. I have a friend who's exactly like that. And that's why y'all be on y'all's head when y'all talking about, I can skate, and here they come tumbling down the thing.
Which was just asking me if I could skate.
I can skate. Here she's on the floor more than I am. I'm like, she has the same complex. She said she is convinced she can do it all. But
remember we just visited our friend that could skate? And
Michelle. Michelle can actually skate.
Like she has skates.
Well, she's learning to skate.
Like multiple pairs of skates. Like skates.
Yeah.
So I would call that an actual skater.
Yeah.
But see, I can skate, but I'm not a skater.
I see. Okay. If that's what you call skate.
I have the ability and talent to do so, but it's not something I do often.
Okay. Whatever. Next fact.
Tip number 4. Forge a secure attachment by supporting each other's interests.
That's fact. It's fact.
You did that.
Yeah.
When I was DJing and stuff, you would always seem interested in it, and I would send you some stuff. Child, do not act like
I used to be the hugest fan.
You was jamming out, and you was.
He would make me a
mix and all that,
and I would take it on the road with me, and I was so infatuated.
See?
I like art. Mm-hmm. That's what I've learned.
And I am an artiste.
Whatever.
And I'm sensitive about my sheets.
What? Who said that?
I'm an artiste and I'm sensitive about my sheets.
Do not use profanity on this podcast.
I said sheet. And tip number 5. Find a way to hang out together while apart.